I welcome all the students who are writing NEET examination and also PG set examination in zoology stream. I know pretty well that our time is running out. The time at our disposal is very limited. So let us plan our revision of syllabus. I would like to provide 50 direct questions in each session. And I promise that I'll be doing nearly 50 videos under this heading. The term protozoa was coined by Goldfuss. Protozoans belong to the kingdom Protista. Protista is the separate kingdom under which eukaryotic unicellular organisms are included. Protista includes eukaryotic unicellular organisms. Bacteria belongs to the kingdom Monera, and this Monera includes prokaryotic unicellular organisms. The difference between Protista and Monera is Protista includes unicellular eukaryotic organisms, whereas Monera includes unicellular prokaryotic organisms. So bacteria being prokaryotic, they are included under separate kingdom called Monera. Protozoans are generally called wretched animalcules. Wretched means without any significance. The term wretched means that doesn't have any importance. So protozoans are generally called wretched animalcules, and this term wretched animalcules was given by Antony von Leeuwenhoek. Protozoan that often changes its shape is amoeba. We know pretty well that amoeba doesn't have a specific shape. It goes on changing its shape. Amoeba is called Proteus animalcule because Proteus is the name of the god, is the name of Greek god who often changes his shape. Euglena is called spindle or eye animalcule. Euglena is called spindle animalcule and also eye animalcule. Euglena has got its name because of the presence of eye spot or stigma. There is one important cell organelle in Euglena that is called eye spot. This is also called stigma, and this is a photoreceptor. The function of eye spot or stigma in Euglena is photoreception. Most primitive protozoan is Euglena because Euglena has got chlorophyll. Normally animals do not have chlorophyll. Because Euglena has got chlorophyll, Euglena is considered as connecting link between plants and animals. So we can say that most primitive protozoan is Euglena. Protozoan that contains chlorophyll is Euglena. Reserve food material present in Euglena is paramylum. Reserve food materials in plants is starch. Reserve food material in animals is glycogen. Whereas because this Euglena is on the borderline between plants and animals, the reserve food material present in Euglena is named as para-amylum. Para means partial, amylum means starch. So reserve food material that is present in Euglena is partial starch, which is also technically called paramylum. Reserve food material in Trypanosoma gambiense is in the form of volutine granules. Protozoan that contains undulating membrane is Trypanosoma gambiense. Undulating membrane is nothing but a wave-like membrane that extends between the rest of the body and the flagella. It's a wave-like membranous structure that extends between the body and the flagella of the Trypanosoma gambiense. Cartwheel-like nucleus is present in Entamoeba histolytica. In fact, this cartwheel-like nucleus along with food vacuole with ingested RBC are the most diagnostic features of Entamoeba histolytica. You can identify and confirm the presence of Entamoeba histolytica by seeing the cartwheel-like nucleus and also the food vacuoles loaded with RBC inside the cell body. Entamoeba histolytica has derived its name as it secretes histolysin. Entamoeba histolytica secretes one enzyme called histolysin, and it in fact digests the tissue of the intestine. Amoebiasis is caused by Entamoeba histolytica. This is a very common disorder in India because we don't follow any hygiene while taking food, and normally we take contaminated food and water, and the ingestion or the use or the intake of contaminated food and water results in amoebiasis. That means the mode of infection of Entamoeba histolytica is through contamination. Bloody stools is the symptom of amoebiasis because, as I already told, Entamoeba histolytica ruptures the intestinal wall by secreting this histolysin. As a result, the intestinal wall starts bleeding, and now this blood comes out along with the fecal matter, resulting in bloody stools. Metronidazole is used to treat amoebiasis. The drug that is used to cure amoebiasis is metronidazole. It's a very common drug. Inflammation of intestine is called peritonitis, and peritonitis is one of the symptoms of amoebiasis because Entamoeba histolytica starts eroding the intestinal wall that causes swelling of the intestine, and this swelling of the intestine is called peritonitis. Paramecium exhibits transverse binary fission. Binary fission is a mode of asexual reproduction where two daughter cells are formed. Depending on the plane of division, binary fission is divided into transverse binary fission and longitudinal binary fission, and the transverse binary fission is exhibited by paramecium. Binary fission in paramecium is called perkinetal division because this occurs perpendicular to the kinety. Euglena exhibits longitudinal binary fission. Binary fission in Euglena is called symmetrogenic division because there is perfect symmetry between the daughter individuals formed due to this longitudinal binary fission. And why the binary fission of Euglena is called symmetrogenic means because the daughter Euglena that are formed are like mirror images. Hence it is called symmetrogenic division. Ciliates are the most advanced protozoans. Ciliates like paramecium, they represent highly evolved protozoans because these ciliates have got infraciliary system which is as good as a coordinating system. I don't say that this infraciliary system is a nervous system. It's not a nervous system, of course, but it coordinates. This coordination is lacking in rest of the protozoans. Because the ciliates have evolved the wonderful system of coordination called infraciliary system, ciliates are considered to be the most advanced protozoans. Infraciliary system is found in ciliates like paramecium. Why it is called infraciliary system means because it is present beneath cilia. Verticella is called bell animalcule because of its shape. Freshwater protozoans have contractile vacuole. Normally vacuoles are absent in animal cells, but protozoans are some sort of exemptions to this rule. Protozoans contain vacuoles in the form of contractile vacuole and food vacuoles. Malaria is caused by Plasmodium. There are many species of Plasmodium that causes malaria. Quinine is the drug used to treat malaria. Of course, recently this hydroxychloroquine, which is the modified version of, which is the designed version of this quinine, is being exported to US for corona treatment. This quinine is extracted from the bark of Cinchona officinalis, and this is the wonderful drug that is used to treat malaria. Malaria is confirmed by blood test because the RBC of the infected patient contains various stages of this malarial parasite. This provides some sort of diagnostic tool for the confirmation of the malaria. Amoebiasis is confirmed by stool examination. Stool means fecal matter. Amoebiasis is confirmed or diagnosed by stool examination. Giardia intestinalis is called grand old man of intestine. Of course, this causes giardiasis. Monocystis is the protozoan parasite present in earthworm. Cilia and flagella arise from basal granule. Basal granule is the structure that gives rise to either cilia or flagella, and this basal granule is also called kinetosome or blepharoplast. Kinetosome or blepharoplast is the other name given to basal granule. Basal granule is also called kinetosome, of course. Maintenance of water balance is called osmoregulation. And this osmoregulation in protozoans is performed by contractile vacuole. Whereas in case of human being, this osmoregulation is performed by both sweat glands and also kidneys. Hence, we can say that contractile vacuole is analogous to the kidney or sweat glands of the mammals. Contractile vacuole is also called water pulsating vesicle because contractile vacuole is filled up with water, and once it is filled up to its capacity, then it starts pulsating. It starts exhibiting contractions and expansions so that the water that is present inside the contractile vacuole is simply filled out or it is spilled out. First it is filled up, later it is spilled out. Marine and parasitic protozoans lack a contractile vacuole because marine and parasitic protozoans, they don't face endosmosis. They don't exhibit endosmosis. Hence, they lack contractile vacuole. Especially these parasitic protozoans, because they are present in the host where there is isotonic environment, there is no need of contractile vacuole in case of parasitic protozoans. Whereas in case of marine protozoans, because of the differential tonicity, they don't exhibit endosmosis. There is no scope for water to enter into a body of marine protozoan. As a result, marine protozoans lack contractile vacuoles. Swelling of spleen is called splenomegaly, and the splenomegaly is exhibited during malaria infection because we know pretty well that the malarial parasite feeds on hemoglobin. That means there is more destruction of RBC during malarial infection. And spleen is the graveyard of RBC. That means all these dead RBC or worn out RBC will be taken to the spleen for further degradation. As a result, in case of malarial parasite, there is some sort of taxing the spleen to the greater extent. As a result, that undergoes some sort of swelling. Digestion in protozoa is intracellular. Intracellular digestion is the most primitive and it occurs within the cell. Intracellular digestion is primitive mode of digestion, whereas extracellular digestion is highly advanced mode of digestion. Intracellular digestion occurs within the cell, and especially in case of protozoa, this intracellular digestion occurs inside the food vacuole. I told that protozoans contain two types of vacuoles, namely contractile vacuoles and food vacuoles. Contractile vacuoles are concerned with osmoregulation, whereas food vacuole is concerned with digestion. Digestion occurs in the food vacuole of protozoans. Hence, it is called intracellular digestion. Sexual reproduction that occurs in protozoa is conjugation. Conjugation is a temporary union between two protozoans for nuclear exchange and also cytoplasmic exchange. Kappa particles are present in the killer strains of Paramecium. Entry of water into the cell is called endosmosis. Expulsion of water from the cell is called exosmosis. If the water comes into the cell, it is called endosmosis, and if the water goes out of the cell, it is called exosmosis. Freshwater protozoans exhibit endosmosis. Marine protozoans exhibit exosmosis. Endosmosis results in bursting of cells if unchecked. Exosmosis results in shrinkage of cells if unchecked. And this shrinkage of cell due to water loss is called plasmolysis. Cell drinking is called pinocytosis or pinacocytosis. Cell eating is called phagocytosis. So we have learned nearly 50 direct questions in this class. Let us try to learn in this manner, and I again assure that I'll be coming to you with another 49 series. Thank you very much.